take a dream and go after it, and don't say you can't. Okay.
Myrt Rose has lived a life most people only dream about. If you have it on your bucket list, chances are Myrt Rose has already checked it off hers.
You can look at it and say, I never became great at any one thing, because I'd be doing something and then I'd say, well, that looks interesting, more fun, I'm going to do that.
It was her hunt for fun that motivated Myrt to jump out of planes in her 20s. She and her first husband, Ted Strong, owned a parachute company, and Myrt jumped at least 100 times.
They put you in the door of the airplane and the wind is just going, your feet are sliding sideways, and you do go and you say, what am I doing here? But once you're out, it is the quiet. It's so quiet, and you watch the plane go away and the parachute opens and you're floating. It's a wonderful feeling.
Myrt graduated from Endicott College in 1956 and eventually became an art teacher. But her sense of adventure kept Myrt from staying in one place too long.
You can't just sit home and be afraid. Can't be afraid.
That lack of fear empowered Myrt to strap herself to the wing of an airplane at the age of 40. She went from parachuting out of a plane to standing on top of a plane, performing as a wing walker for the first time during the 1976 Oshkosh Air Show. The biggest surprise, she had never even practiced before the show.
I got there early, he got there late, and you and I aren't allowed to practice the day of the show. So the first time I was ever up on the wing was in the show.
Where did you find the courage? I think that's very courageous. Did you think of that you had to have a lot of courage to do that?
I don't know. I was flying, and I had been adventuresome. I went down to South America and lived with the Indians, where I was scuba diving and finding treasure, and parachuting and flying, and so it was kind of a step. It was fun. I had a great time.
Did anybody try to stop you from being a wing walker?
No. I didn't. I never told my parents until after I sent them newspaper clippings. And I said, this is what I've been doing this summer.
Myrt learned to fly both single and multi-engine aircraft, including seaplanes, and received her helicopter rating at the age of 60. Her favorite plane is Winston, an antique Piper J3 Cub, which she still flies today at her homes in Florida and Illinois. Myrt and Ted later divorced, but remained great friends until his death in 2011. It was at the Oshkosh Air Show in 1985 that Myrt met her second husband, Bill Rose. He loved flying in airplanes, and he loved adventure as much as Myrt.
He had all these airplanes, and he was a pilot. I mean, he was always building something. And he had a great restaurant, big business. We had a very interesting life.
Celebrating birthdays was a big deal to Myrt's husband, Bill. So when he turned 70, Myrt surprised him by doing a wing walk over their home in Marco Island, Florida. She was 64 at the time.
Every 5 years, he had to have a big birthday party. So when I gave him this, I came in and wing walked, and a reporter said to him, well, what do you think she's going to do in 5 years? And he said, oh, it was a joke. He said, oh, she'll probably come in naked on an elephant. I thought, I can do that.
And that's exactly what she did. For Bill's 75th birthday, Myrt rode into his circus-themed party on an elephant. She wore a skin-colored bodysuit with strategically painted sections that gave the crowd and Bill quite a fun surprise. For his 80th birthday, they rode camels at a wildlife preserve in Naples, Florida. In 2010, Bill Rose passed away at the age of 83 following a heart attack. Myrt carried on their tradition of flying and often took her Piper J3 out in the afternoons. One afternoon flight made headlines around the world.
I used to fly every afternoon around 5:30, 6 o'clock in that time. And so I went out and got in the airplane and went off and did my little tootle around the farms and waved at people and coming back, all of a sudden this jet flew by me and I would look like, oh, they must be coming back from Oshkosh. And because there were a lot of jets up there at Oshkosh. Then I started descending, and so all of a sudden, one came over the top of me, and then the other one came by me again. And so I waved. I said, oh, they're looking at how cute my airplane is, so I waved. So I was right next to the grass strip when I stopped, and I looked down the runway, and they were coming right down the runway low, and then they went straight up in the air with afterburners going, and right up, and the whole place just shook. You know how they are, and totally loaded with missiles. I mean, they were totally loaded, and I said, oh. And so then 4 state police cars and 4 town police cars came down and surrounded the airplane.
What Myrt didn't know was she had flown her antique airplane through then-President Obama's restricted airspace, and the Secret Service was not happy. It took 6 months to convince them it was an honest mistake. She avoided reporters until she saw a story on the front page of her local newspaper.
When they put that headlines in the Herald that elderly woman invades Obama airspace and put my age, well, that pissed me off. You know, I didn't think that was nice. So I said, okay, I'll give an interview. So the next guy who called, it was AP News, and that went all over the world.
Myrt says she will keep flying as long as she's able.
If you have a dream, go after it and keep after it. And so you fail once, keep going after it, and enjoy your life, enjoy every day. Tomorrow it might not be there. Just go after life. It's short. You know, you never thought about the end. Now you think about it, and you think about what the kind of person you are, and I always hope that I'm kind. But I hope that when I'm 95, I can still be doing something exciting. I don't want to just sit and watch television, play with an iPhone, or something like that.